New TV shows, museum openings, film releases and concerts. It's a lot to keep track of. Let us help. For the week of December 31st, 7 events in New York and elsewhere not to be missed. December 31, Knockdown. Center. No native of the 5 boroughs did more to define the sound of 2017 than Cardi B, who topped the pop charts and lifted the spirits of a weary nation with her invigorating single Bodak Yellow. That anthem will surely ring out at many New Year's parties on Sunday night, but only one of them will feature a performance from the Bronx-born rapper herself. She is headlining the night's festivities at the Knockdown Center, a former glass factory in Maspeth, Queens. Cardi B's recent live performances have been short, to the point and very fun. At this show, she'll be joined by an eclectic lineup of forward thinkers, including the DJ Venus X, who co-founded this decade's influential dance party GHE20G0TH1K, and the risque visual artist Shelby Sells. This is not a show for those expecting to close out the year with a sentimental rendition of Auld Lang Syne, but a refreshing toast to the future. Complimentary champagne included. Simon Vosiclevinson Jan. 3. Fox.com. What's your emergency? A familiar voice, it's Connie Britton's, asks before elaborating on the 2 types of trauma she encounters: the everyday variety, which has left her single at 42 and saddled with caring for a mother with late-stage Alzheimer's, and the more urgent kind, found at the end of the 911 line she monitors. 9-1-1, a new procedural from Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk, premiering Wednesday, January 3, on Fox, follows a group of emergency workers in Los Angeles starring Ms. Britton as a dispatcher, Angela Bassett as a patrol officer and Peter Krause as a firefighter whose private demons are often as harrowing as their professional ones. It's a far cry from its creators' American Horror Story, of which Ms. Bassett and Ms. Britton are veterans, but the initial cases on 9-1-1 are only slightly less macabre, including a baby whimpering from inside the plumbing of an apartment building and a snake lover whose python won't loosen its grip on her. Catherine Shattuck. Through February 12, metmuseum.org. Through January 28, MoMA.org. Through January 29, newegallery.org. Through March 28, guggenheim.org. Through January 21, newmuseum.org. Through January 28, luringaugustine.com. Most of the art world spends the holidays catching its breath, but it's a great time for dedicated viewers to catch up. Whether it's a fall blockbuster like Michelangelo at the Met or Louise Bourgeois at Museum of Modern Art, the Neue Gallery's show of fabulous objets d'art from the Wiener Werkstatt, the Guggenheim's small but gorgeous Joseph Albers in Mexico, or the new museums of the moment Trigger, Gender as a Tool and a Weapon, the city's museums are full of soon-to-be last-chance exhibits. But start with Mike Kelly's provocative, multi-channel, high school flashback Fantasia on view at Luring Augustine in Bushwick through January. Will HEINRICH Jan. 4, 5, 6, 9, niffle.org. In its first run of concerts in the new year, the New York Philharmonic takes a turn toward the classical era. On January 4, the ebullient Jeffrey Cohane, who recently concluded an invigorating tenure as music director of the Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra, returns to the Philharmonic's podium and keyboard to conduct and play Mozart's Buoyant Piano Concerto No. 17. For Tchaikovsky's graceful, Mozart-infused variations on a Rococo theme, Cohane and the orchestra will be joined by the outstanding young cellist Elisa Weilerstein, the recipient of a 2011 MacArthur Foundation grant. Rounding out a musically rewarding if conservative program is Haydn's Burnished Symphony No. 98, written for London audiences not long after the composer learned of Mozart's death. William Robin Jan. 4–15, UnderTheRadarFestival.com. The New York theater season used to pause after the holidays. Now it takes approximately a single breath, and then the wealth of work keeps coming. Some of the most intriguing of it alights at the public theaters, dependably enticing Under the Radar Festival, whose panoply of contemporary performance stokes the appetite for the year ahead. Highlights of the 12-day festival starting on Thursday, January 4th, at the Public, and overflowing to several other spaces in Manhattan and Brooklyn include the British lip-sync artist Dickie Bowe performing in Remember Me, a meditation on Hamlet and the actors who have played him, Nature Theatre of Oklahoma examining the American dream with the Slovenian dance company NNAP Group In Pursuit of Happiness, Toshi Reagan and Bernice Johnson Reagan morphing science fiction into a black music opera with Octavia E. Butler's Parable of the Sower, and the Japanese director Satoshi Miyagi harnessing classical no drama to retell Shakespeare in Mugen no Othello. The extensive lineup includes much more, and rewards adventure. Laura Collins Huggestion 5. In the first scene of In Between, an older woman waxes the legs of a younger one while counseling her on men: keep your mouth shut and your body smooth, and never let on that you know what you're doing in bed. But the stars of the Palestinian writer and director Maïsa Hamed's feisty feature debut aren't heeding that advice. Lila, Mauna Hawa, a criminal lawyer, and Salma, Sana Jamali, an aspiring DJ, share an apartment in Tel Aviv, their nights filled with sex, drugs, and electronica. Then they open their door to Naur, Shaitan Kenbura, a hijab-wearing university student with a holier-than-thou fiancé intent on making her his dutiful wife. But sometimes not even modern lovers Lila and a worldly filmmaker, Salma, and a female medical student can escape the burden of tradition in a country that doesn't fully accept them. Nor can a filmmaker. In Between, opening Friday, January 5th, in New York, before a wider release, earned Ms. Hamed death threats after a conservative West Bank town banned the movie. Catherine Shattuck through December 31st, NewYorkCityCenter.org, NickBollet.com. On New Year's Eve, the curtain will fall on two enthralling dances, one new and one old. Jamar Roberts's Members Don't Get Weary, a season premiere for Alvin Ailey American Dance Theatre, didn't feel so much like a dance, although it was a fine one, with nuance and power as it did a profound message to the world. Its music was John Coltrane's Dear Lord and Ole. A cherished veteran of Ailey, Mr. Roberts delivered, in his first work for the main company, a transcendent look at how the blues play into our culture. It's a rarity. It will last. And as for a dance that has already endured through the decades? George Balanchine's The Nutcracker, a radiant melding of theatrical heart and choreographic ingenuity. Soon, the run of this holiday classic will come to its timely end, but it's not gone yet. For some reason, it's better to see it after Christmas. It feels all the more like a secret from childhood. Gia Kurlas.